Hey everybody, it's Arthur, your enthusiastic advocate for the ukulele and especially for using music for health. Today we're going to talk about straps, okay? Straps on your ukulele. Like, why do I need one? Well, here you might have seen people, let's first talk about not using a strap, and then we'll get into the strap thing. If you're not using a strap, okay, you're holding your ukulele in such a way that the forearm of your strumming hand is supporting it, and your chord hand is supporting the neck of the ukulele. Now, the only thing to remember is that as you're playing without a strap, is that you just don't want to squeeze the body of the ukulele too tight to your body, like so, okay? Like this, okay? Only enough that it's supporting down here. And remember, the sweet spot for strumming is in the center of the strings. So it should sit nicely right where it needs to be, yes? So remember, the sound diminishes if you squeeze the sound box too tight, because remember, all of this is vibrating to give it its unique sound. So if you squeeze it too tight, it's not going to sound cool. But anyway, you should be able to support it all right. There's a funny little melody that was started by a native down in Waikiki. He would gather a crowd down beside the sea, and they play his little wine chant. Oh, we try to alarm me, big bad fight and run. Okay, well that's enough of that. But hey, let's say you're playing your ukulele without a strap, and you're finding that the ukulele getting away from you, supporting it, is distracting you too much from your playing. That's when we need to get a strap or something to secure it in place and just take that worry of dropping your ukulele out of the equation, okay? So, what kind of strap should we get? I'm going to show you a couple things about a strap. I mean, they come in literally, look at this, all shapes and sizes, colors, and all kinds of things. You do want to pay a little bit attention to the material that it's made out of, because I'll share a little experience of mine. I got this one particular strap. I loved it because it's nice and black and cool, right? Because, you know, black is cool. But it was made out of suede, you know, like a raw leather material. And I found that when I was playing, it sticks to the shirt. And those of you that see me in class a lot know that I'm gesturing and moving around a lot. And my ukulele's going, and it would stick to my shirt, and it was just, you know, it just wasn't working quite right. Most straps are made out of nylon, this nylon material. These examples that I have here, they've all got this wonderful fabric on the one side. Oops, let me turn that around so you can see how pretty it is. They have the fabric on the one side, but the part that's laying against you is in fact the nylon. Nice and slippery and slides across your shoulder pretty good. You can go to my website, to the Fistful of Uke page, and you can, under accessories, find a lot of links that'll get you to those the manufacturers and the suppliers for these cool straps and whatnot. So, how do we put our strap on? Well, they're all held on in place by this down here, the strap button. Neat little gizmo that's installed on the end of your ukulele. Okay? Now, if you're like me, you might be a little nervous of poking holes and putting things inside your ukulele. It took me literally about 2 years to work up the nerve to poke a hole in my nice Super Concert Koaloa ukulele here. See, I eventually broke down and did it. You don't have to worry, because let me show you something. Every ukulele, almost every ukulele except for the really cheap ones, you can see here on this model, it's really apparent that there's a seam right here in the bottom. You see this stripe where the two pieces of wood coming around the bout here come together, okay? Inside the ukulele right here is a nice block of wood called the tail block. And that's what we'll install our strap button in. Here's a strap button. You see that? Here's the button end on this side, and here's the screw that goes in. And you can see that's all that's going in there. So it's really, really small. It's not going to do much or any damage to your ukulele to put it in there. And also, it's not going to affect the sound or anything, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay? Now, that takes care of the strap getting hooked up on this end. Where else do we put it, right? Well, you'll see here, there's a few things we can do. On my Koaloha, I installed a strap button on the end, right, like we just talked about, and there was this cool angle here you can see on the heel of the neck here, and I thought, what a great place for another strap button, right? So I did. You can see here where I installed the second strap button down here on the heel of the ukulele. The only thing, it works nice and all, but the only thing about that with this particular model is that it's neck heavy. So when I'm gesturing in class or something, you can see it sags. You know, it's gonna drop towards the floor. That's the only issue with this one, because it's a super concert and all the weight on a ukulele resides in the neck and the headstock, these solid pieces of wood up here. Because our small body, it's not like a guitar where the size of the body balances out the weight of the neck. The ukulele's weight is mostly in the neck, but that doesn't mean you can't install the button there. I still like it, and it works okay. Most people will not do that, install the button on the heel of the ukulele there. They'll do something else, which is use a piece of lace. Okay, I'm gonna use my little electric model here to demonstrate. Okay, it's got the regular button on the end, and the other end of the strap, you can see it's got the normal little hole and slot here that's gonna slip over the button. But what I'm gonna do is use this piece of lace. Most of the straps come with a raw leather piece of lace, right? And what you want to do is take that piece, okay, fold it in half evenly, right? And let's take the loop end and push it through the hole of the strap. Okay, so we've got the nice little loop end coming through, all right? Now you'll take these two loose tail ends around and through the hole that you just made, pull it tight, and it's secure on the strap, okay? So you should have it secure on the strap with these two ends of the lace hanging free, okay? And that's what we're gonna use to secure it to the ukulele here, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna tie it off up here on the headstock side of the nut, okay? And what you gotta remember here is to go underneath your strings. Go under the strings. We don't want to tie on top of it. So you'd slip one of the ends through there under the strings, remember, and take the other end around the back, and depending on, you know, I don't know whether you're a sailor or a Girl Scout or Boy Scout or whatever, tie a good knot that you know. I'm just going to put a square knot or two in here. Slowly but surely, and pull it tight. I tried my best to get the knot a little behind the neck here. So there I have it. It's nice and secure. It's tied to the headstock. So there you have it. That's how we would tie it off, okay? You can see that's the way most of us do it. And the knot is sitting nicely here on the back side of the headstock. Now, there's another new nifty accessory coming out these days, because people are telling me, you know, these little ends of the tail, they're kind of tickling their knuckles or whatever, kind of getting in the way. So let me show you this other new gizmo that's coming out that's the solution to that, where we don't have to use the lace. It's this small little leather strap, all right, that has a hole on one end here, and it's got kind of its own little button thing. So what you do is you it snaps on right around here, right where we tied the lace off. You see that? It's a leather strap, okay, and it slips nicely there. No knots to tie or anything like that. You know, it slips onto itself here, just like you would slip the strap onto a button. And what it does now is up here on the top of it, it's got a button, right? So I'll grab my strap. Where's my strap? Strap. I think my video about straps, I would have straps available. Let me take the lace off this one. Okay, so you can see I slipped the end over here on the body side. All right, and you can see now with my new nifty little gizmo here, this strap button will slip right on there, just like that. Easy breezy, yeah? How cool is that? It looks kind of nice too. You know, you don't have that funky looking lace stuff hanging all over the place. So there you have it. There's a few ways to put your strap on. Now, if you're wondering how do you put a strap button on and you want to do it yourself, we'll talk about that now too. It's important that you center the button. I'm going to use this little guy here. He doesn't have a button, so I think he needs one, right? So I know there's a block in there, and what you want to do first is put a piece of tape on here. Why? If you've got especially a high varnish shiny ukulele, you don't want that varnish to crack and peel. Sometimes when we pierce the seal of the varnish, it might in fact lift it up a little bit, and when we drill the hole, it might lift it up and separate it from the surface of your ukulele. So to avoid that, we take your typical piece of Scotch tape, okay, roll out a piece a little longer than the width of your ukulele, and right here, you see in the very center, once you've got it centered, I'm actually looking at the bridge on the face of the ukulele, and I can see my piece of tape is right there in the center of the middle two strings. I'm going to stretch it across and tape it to the ukulele there, okay? And there's my piece of tape, all right? So again, it won't damage the surface of the varnish. You know, it can actually, when you drill that hole, it can lift it up like this. Like if my fingers were the varnish, it might chip and stuff like that. So a piece of tape is going to have you avoid that. Now you want to put a starter dent in the wood where you're going to drill the hole, okay? You can use an awl, AWL tool, which looks just like an ice pick. But if you're not Mr. Handyman with all that stuff on hand, you can also use a finish nail and a hammer, which most of us should have laying around. So what you want to do, and if you want to get super precise, you know, you can use a tape measure and all that stuff and measure exactly down the center. I'm going to eyeball it because I can do that. All right, so I'm putting the tip of my nail, my finish nail, right there. Okay, I found the center of my ukulele, and I'm just holding the tip of the nail right there. And I'm just going to gently use the hammer and tap the nail just enough to make a little starter hole. Okay, just a little starter hole there for our drill bit to go into. If you don't make a starter hole and you go to start drilling a hole, because of the high revolutions of the drill bit, you run the risk of it skipping around on the wood before it actually goes through, okay? So that's why we put a little starter dent or hole in there. Now, before you go to drill the hole, it's important to know that when you pick out your drill bit, it's not too large or too small. Here's what you want to do. We got the strap button, right? And we can see it looks, and we've got the screw that's going through it, yes? I got a Phillips head screw going through there. Can you see that? There's the Phillips head. There's the screw end. This particular kind came with a nice little felt pad. All right, so what we want to do is pick out our drill bit, okay, that we're going to drill the hole with. The thing to know is that the drill, the shaft of the drill bit, we don't want it to be larger than the shank of the screw. And how do you do that? You're going to hold the drill bit up to the screw, and you should be able to see the threads of the screw both on the top and the bottom of the drill bit. Does that make sense? You know, the drill bit, the threads need to be larger than the drill bit, the drill bit, okay? So you can eyeball that because you want the screw to go into the wood without splitting and cracking it, but there needs to be wood for the threads to bite into. So what you're doing is drilling the hole that's large enough for the shank of the screw, which is to say the steel pole part, and the threads are wrapping around the outside of that, right? The threads we want to bite into the wood. Okay, so we've got our starter little hole ready there. We've got our drill and our drill bit measured, and all you want to do, hopefully you've got a drill that you can, you know, adjust the speed a little bit, so if you're nervous it won't go getting away on you. Be sure that the tip of the drill bit is settled into that dent we made, okay? Make sure it's in there. It should be sticking in there. Make sure you're straight up and down. Start slowly. And here we go. And there you have it. We've drilled our hole. don't forget to take off the tape before you put in the screw. You see that? It peels off, you know, nice, just a nice clean hole there with no splinters or lift varnish or anything like that lifting up on it. Okay, and then we're ready to sit our new strap button in there and put her on in there. Now when you're picking out a strap button, which by the way should only be about $2 or $3 at any music store, I don't know if it's all about looks. You know, sometimes I try to get the strap button to match the tuning pegs. So if you've got like black tuning pegs, you might get a black button. If you've got gold tuning pegs, you get a gold button, and so on and so forth. Now I couldn't find a white kind of mother of pearl looking strap button, but you'll see here that the hardware is all chrome. These open geared tuners, right? So I got a chrome button to match. And there you have it. It's installed. Easy breezy, yeah? And there I have it. I screwed it in, put it on. Where's my strap? Oh, that one's on there. Let's use this one. Well, my straps all have laces in. So anyway, there you have it. The installation is complete. So there you have it, folks. That's how to install a strap, some things to look for, some materials and whatnot. And when I make these videos, I try to find a related song, okay? And I'm like, believe it or not, there's not a whole lot of songs out there about straps, but here's a little something I found. And it's an old Irish ballad. Yeah, let's see how this works. Now I'll tell you a story that is bound to shock. It's all about a murder on the St. John's dock. The woman in question was Biddy McGraw, who strangled two sailors with the straps of her bra with a toot-I-ya, faddle-diddy-da, toot-I-oo-I-oo-I-ya, toot-I-ya, faddle-diddy-da, toot-I-oo-I-oo-I-ya. Okay, it's about bra straps and not ukulele straps, but hey, I tried. You can find all the lyrics to the song and the accompanying video that you can play along with on my website. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and we'll see you next time.